What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another 4K Blu-ray review. And today's 4K has us going back to 1981 for the Army comedy, Stripes. Now this already came out on 4K, but it was part of a giant boxed set from Columbia. This is the first time that you can get it as a standalone release, and it's in Steelbook. Check it out. Photos from the movie. Inside, 4K disc, Blu-ray disc. You need both discs if you want to watch the special features. As always, Stripes. I've seen this movie several times over the years, and it's a classic 1980s comedy that's just below some of the greats of that decade. But it's still a fun and entertaining movie. It takes a lighter approach to the term war movie by offering tons of laughs and comedic performances by all, and with a great mud wrestling scene. This is one of Bill Murray's best films as well.
I thought that was a dog around your neck.
If that's humor, don't bother.
Directed by Ivan Reitman, this film also stars Harold Ramis, PJ Soles, John Larroquette, and even John Candy. You also had small bit parts from actors such as John Deal, Judge Reinhold, and even Bill Paxton in an unnamed role. But Murray, Candy, and Ramis stole the show as they somehow made it through boot camp and became soldiers.
We don't go to war.
Excuse me, stewardess. Is there a movie on this flight?
Yes.
A movie on this flight.
Upon putting in either the 4K or the Blu-ray disc, you have two versions of the film to watch. Either the theatrical or the extended cut, and I watched both back to back. And I can tell you, the extended cut is far worse than the theatrical, which runs a tight 100 minutes. The extended cut is roughly 15 minutes longer. Worthless. Made no sense. It really dragged the movie down. In fact, there was one scene where they landed and got captured in Central America by some rebels. Made no sense to the entire movie. Granted, I did like the added scenes with PJ Soles though, near the end. Let's get into it. After losing his job, car, girlfriend, and apartment in the span of a few hours, John Winger convinces his best friend, Russell Ziske, to join the army because it will be fun and easy. What little do they know is that it will be hell, and even worse when the drill instructor and Winger are at odds the entire film. Somehow they end up graduating with the best demonstration ever and end up leading a special project of guarding a souped-up RV called the EM-40 Urban Assault Vehicle. But they can't do that right either, as you would expect. Hilarity ensues. This brand new transfer in HDR looks fantastic for this 1:8:5:1 aspect ratio. For a film that is over 44 years old, it looks like it was shot yesterday. I was extremely impressed with the amount of detail throughout, from the bright outdoor shots, or even the outdoor night shots, to just indoor shots, such as during the mud wrestling scene. The image was great, with excellent detail across the board. Nothing to complain about with this image, as the shadow detail had so much detail. Facial tones looked great too, and if you were wondering, yes, Bill Murray had a ton of hair. Audio was presented in Dolby Atmos and DTS 5.1 HD. Since I watched both back to back, I watched the extended cut in DTS, and I can tell you that Atmos is the way to go. Even though this was a comedy, I was fully expecting front stage audio, but I was surprised with all the surround activity, as well as the low frequency effects. Add to the fact that the main theme score played multiple times throughout the movie, and it sounded just great. The bass in the mud wrestling scene sounded terrific on my two Velodynes. I did not expect a film of this age to have such a good audio mix, but it did for sure. Even though it was a comedy, some of the action shots sounded great too and really lifelike.
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
Yeah, would they send us someplace special?
In terms of special features, you had two new retrospectives on the 4K disc as well as a trailer. On the Blu-ray disc, You had an audio commentary, a Stars and Stripes documentary about the film broken into 2 videos. You also had deleted scenes as well as extended scenes. That's a good way to watch instead of watching the extended cut. You also had a TV version of the film. This is a must-own disc. It's a solid comedy that looks and sounds great in 4K. Sony did their job on this one. 8.5 out of 10. Well, that's today's review. Come back again. We got a lot more movies to watch.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, bruh.